I'm here at the Islington Arts Factory for Francis Angol's Movement Angol. This is his contemporary African dance class, which is basically a synthesis of Western contemporary styles, ballet, which is where contemporaries come from, fused with African techniques. I think mainly West African, and also a lot of Caribbean. A lot of Caribbean dance is really influenced by West African dance when the slaves came over from the Bight of Benin, from Nigeria. That's where it's kind of evolved from. It's an intermediate class. I don't know why I've done that. There was a beginner's class earlier, and I was like, I can do this, which I might be regretting. So I'm a little bit scared. I don't know what I'm getting myself into. This could be a little bit painful tomorrow, but I want to basically see how it feels to do this dance, which is spiritual, how you translate learning the steps in your head and feeling them, because that's what this movement is, it's expression. It comes from a place where you dance because you were almost possessed by a spirit, whether that was religious, whether it was voodoo. It's a spiritual dance. You internalise the steps and you don't think about them, which is a little bit of a scary thing to actually let your body do.
That makes sense.
It makes
My body is already.
This is another facet of African dance that I'm going to get to experience. Let's go.
The whole idea of African and Caribbean dance is the body expressing itself in space. It's not the body just placing itself, just like creating shape. It's life, expressing life through rhythm. Dance is the basic language of the body. Movement, for me, is the first language.
And dance is inextricably intertwined with music. I mean, in some African languages they don't have two different words, it's all one word.
Yes, music.
And it's all part of...
We are rhythm.
Yeah.
Rhythm in our way of fashion, rhythm in... We are full of rhythm. If you peel the skin in that universe under our skins, it's full of different rhythms, resonating all the time. Heart beating, blood flowing, pumping, cells exchanging, talking, electrical signals. It's all about rhythm underneath the skin. That's what makes it beautiful. So for me, this notion about, this person hasn't got rhythm. We all have rhythm. We just don't listen, or we're not aware, or we don't listen to rhythm. We connect, exactly. Life is about rhythm.
Where did you sort of get your influences from when you're creating Angol, Movement Angol?
I've always been just interested in movement. I'm a very creative person. I draw from life, especially from my own experiences, as they say. I draw from all different styles of dance, but African being one of my main foundations, because it's all about that spiritual connection. I mean, when I dance, it's not my physicality that dances, it's my spirit that dances. And that spirit engages my physical being, my mental being. So it's all about the spiritual being. That's what moves. And that's what I really draw and embrace from African dance. From contemporary, from jazz, the whole lyrical, syncopated flow of jazz, the actual use of space and dynamic from the Western contemporary. So I can draw, and the Caribbean dance, the circles and spirals and that lyrical flow. So I draw from all these things, but the foundation of my style, I don't like to use the word technique. For me, it's a...
No, but I guess you employ techniques.
Yes, you do. You employ techniques, but the word technique makes it
sounds rigid.
So clinical, rather
the rigidity, like ballerina.
Exactly. So it's more of an articulation, an expression, and what I'd say, it's a synthesis of cultural sensibilities, which is what I am.
So Regina, you've been going for quite a while. How long?
5 years. 5 years, definitely.
Wow. Do you know how long it's been going on for? How long Francis has been?
He's been running this class at the Islington Arts Factory for about 10 years.
So with Yola, having finished quite a strenuous class with Francis, I'm exhausted. I'm absolutely exhausted. It's very different from the feeling of a lot of early dances that I've done. Like you engage different parts of your body and you have to express yourself differently from within. Like how do you know to call on the right parts of your mind and your body to?
Well, Francis tells us to switch off the mind and go with the consciousness.
You don't think about it.
Just feel it
Yeah.
and follow the imagery, which is all about imagery and feeling.
Yeah.
I was trying my hardest to switch off today, but it was quite difficult. It was quite new.
But it's practice, isn't it?
Yes, no, absolutely. It's finding that line where you feel the movement, you're expressing, but you have to know what the steps are as well. You have to think about your lines, think about where you're engaging. I guess there's a fine line between engaging your mind and your soul simultaneously.
He always sort of says, do not actually engage your mind as such. It's just let, your body follow, which is always really tricky if you just sort of start off. But how are you going to, because you have to learn the steps in order to kind of...
I guess once you internalise the
Yes,
steps,
yeah.
once you have learned them, you can embody
Yes,
them, and then you can...
I think that's
Yeah.
his approach anyway, exactly.
And it was brilliant, although I think tomorrow...
It may feel a bit achy because we're using muscles differently than you
A
normally
lot of
have.
muscle. First of all, Francis, how did I do?
You did very well. No, seriously, I think you understand what I call the mechanics of the style.
This style?
Yeah, the style, the way the actual style of dance utilises the actual body, the actual placement and the articulation of the body. I think you have a good understanding of that.
I think that the hardest thing I find anyway is that you have to think about it because there are steps that I don't know.
Yeah.
But you also want to internalise that movement and be able to express yourself and let it flow. And the girls were saying you have to disengage your mind. And I was like, I can't do that.
Yeah. My style is very much about fluid motion. I ask people to think about water, the flow of water on land, the way it finds every crack and it just seeps through it. So that's the idea. So I ask people to work with imagery. The whole thing is not to try and analyse while you're going through the process of understanding, is connecting with the imagery that I am offering you. And you're doing that by exploring that imagery on your body, echoing that back.
So it should feel right.
So it's more of a feeling, yeah. So you're at the end of the day, you're moving with your physical body and not with my body. So you're using the actual imagery as a kind of framework, but you're expressing that and internalising that with your physicality. So it becomes natural to you.
No, that makes sense. Well, it's embodying it.
Exactly, and it's all about the embodied dance practice. Yeah, it's all isolated movement, which is the fundamental aspect of African dance. And it's all about using the ground as a platform departure. It's all very, very grounded. You're still holding your centre. So although I'm going down, I'm deeply, but there's still a lift. And my centre is always engaged. I'm always going for that tension and relaxation. And it's all about that tension and relaxation to kind of lift that isolated feeling.
It's true. If I let it go, you can't isolate.
Exactly. So contract to fold the back in, and then you actually release the pelvis to let the chest and sternum pulsate forward there. You contract again, so lift, fold the body in tension, and then relax to release the body. So constantly, different rhythms are flowing, circulating around, in and out, in reverse, all together. The whole body is resonating.
Undulating.
Yes.
It's one of my favourite words as well.
So once you're aware of where you're actually moving from,
Yeah.
the whole thing becomes just second nature.
And when it comes to the fusion with contemporary Western technique, as it were, I'm inclined to to be rigid because that's how you get trained.
Yeah.
You know? How can you break that down?
I add a ripple, but from the centre. As I said, I create lines through curves.
You create lines through curves?
Yes. If that makes sense.
It makes
My
no
body
sense, Francis,
is
but
already.
that's fine. None of it makes sense. You just engage your mind.
So I'm constantly rippling and unfolding, folding and unfolding.
So this movement that we were doing sort of earlier was
So reaching, stretching, but I'm doing it through a ripple, undulation.
yeah.
And the back and spine also is never straight and rigid. The back is always singing, it's always articulating, talking. And that's what causes the arm from just a straight butted arm to undulating, resonating arm.
It makes you feel more like an animal.
Yes.
Or it was.
Well, you actually echoing nature, echoing life.
It's very beautiful.
It's just a natural flow of the embodiment, and that's how we have joints and a body to move everything the way we desire. The body's not meant to just stay rigid.
No, it feels
It's
good.
meant to flow.
It feels really good. I mean, it's not going to feel good tomorrow. I'm going to be in agony.
But tomorrow it's you work muscles. But also, what is it? It's like a whole. It's like you're allowing the body to actually release tension, stress by working every single muscle, releasing tension. And that's why for me, working with African dance as a foundation is just a kind of release, a spiritual release. It's a spiritual climax if I use that.
Thank you so much. I really enjoyed it. It
Thank
feels
you.
really good. I find it incredibly interesting. And to go away, I'm going to go and try some hip hop, so locking, popping, which is all very similar in some ways.
Yeah,
But
there is a thread,
Yeah.
and then there's a departure.
and seeing the way that they've all fused with other styles, or it's because they've become a performance style, become a social dance. Or
Exactly.
That's how it grows and evolves, and they all have the same root.
Sometimes when I teach young people, and especially urban dance or street dance, when I look at what they're doing, it is pure African dance to a different rhythm. Because if you look at the actual mechanics, the whole grounded body, they just do it African dance.
It's the same route that hip hop has, whether you're watching a performance of Zoo Nation in Savage Wells, or you're in a crew battle, a street dance crew battle, you see b-boys, you see locking, you see popping, it's all the same route that it's come from, but it's taken a different route, to use the metanym.
The mindset.
Yes, exactly. Conditioned to, this urban streets or modern, they think it's different.
I want to find out where everything has come from, and let people know that. I think it's interesting, it's important. I mean, obviously more important is where it's going and where it comes from. But
definitely. It's just recycled. That's what life is. I think that's what we are. Life is recycled. But every time we come around, it's with a different flavour, a different dynamics, a different feeling. But it's the same thing.
we'll see this movement slightly differently in many years to come, but it'll be
with a different take. According to whatever society, it is a reflection of what's going on. Exactly.